Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into a really cool intersection of tech and culture. How artificial intelligence is becoming a game-changing new ally in the mission to build workplaces that are truly diverse and inclusive. So, let's jump right in.
So, let's kick things off with a big number, 35%. Now, why this number? Well, get this. Research shows that companies with more diverse and inclusive teams are a whopping 35% more likely to financially outperform their competition. This isn't just a nice idea, it's a cold, hard business fact.
And that stat really points to a huge shift in thinking. For any modern company, diversity and inclusion, or D&I, aren't just social goals anymore. They're not just nice-to-haves, they are absolute business imperatives. And the business case is pretty clear when you break it down. First, as we just saw, you get stronger financial performance, but it also leads to way better problem solving and more innovation. I mean, it makes sense, right? Different people bring different ways of thinking. It also means higher employee engagement and retention because people want to stay where they feel like they belong. And finally, it builds trust with your clients and partners who want to see that you get it.
But here's the thing, this goes so much deeper than just hitting diversity quotas or checking boxes. Real D&I is about two other crucial ideas: equity, making sure everyone has a fair opportunity to succeed, and inclusion, which is all about creating a culture where every single person feels that genuine sense of belonging. And measuring a feeling, that's where things get really complicated.
And this leads us straight into the biggest hurdle that so many organizations run into, the measurement challenge. How in the world do you actually see the full picture? How do you measure something as complex as inclusion accurately?
Well, traditionally, we've had two main ways of trying. On one side, you've got the qualitative stuff like employee surveys and interviews. These are awesome for getting rich detail and capturing how people feel, but they're also subjective and super hard to scale. On the other side, you have the hard numbers, the quantitative data like hiring ratios and pay gap stats. It's concrete for sure, but it completely misses the human nuance. Each one only gives you half the story.
And when you try to put this into practice, you hit even more roadblocks. The data you need is often scattered across totally different systems. The reports you finally get are almost always looking backward, telling you what happened last year, not what's happening right now. And of course, there are huge privacy concerns. And for smaller teams, you might not even have enough data to find any meaningful patterns. It's a mess.
So, with all those challenges, what's the answer? Well, this is where AI steps onto the scene. This is the moment we can start moving from guesswork and incomplete data to real, powerful, data-driven insights. AI is really becoming a new ally in this fight. And the difference it makes is just staggering. I mean, look at this. What would take an analyst weeks of painstakingly sifting through spreadsheets to find a subtle pattern of bias, an AI can do in seconds. Literally, seconds. It can connect dots across huge amounts of data in ways a human simply couldn't.
Okay, let's make this real. Think about the hiring process. First, AI can scan your job descriptions to flag and remove biased language, words you might not even realize are discouraging certain groups from applying. Next, it can do blind screenings, basically hiding names, schools, and other info so that recruiters are forced to focus only on skills. And finally, it can analyze candidates completely objectively, matching them based on qualifications, not unconscious bias.
And it doesn't even stop at hiring. This is where it gets kind of futuristic. AI tools can analyze anonymized company communications, like Slack channels or internal forums, to gauge employee sentiment in real time. It's like having a continuous pulse check on your company culture, letting you spot problems before they blow up. Okay, so AI sounds amazing, right? A total game changer. But, and this is a really, really big but, it is not a perfect solution. We have to talk about the risk, the cautionary tale of what happens when this goes wrong. The bias in the machine.
This quote right here sums up the danger perfectly. It comes from the now infamous story of Amazon's experimental hiring AI, and it gets to the core of the problem. The AI literally learned our worst habits.
So here's what happened. Amazon trained this new AI tool on a decade's worth of its own hiring data. But because the tech industry and Amazon had historically hired more men, the data itself was skewed. The AI looked at all this data and basically concluded, oh, I see. Male candidates must be better. And the results were just wild. The AI literally taught itself to downgrade any resume that had the word women's in it. So if you were the captain of the women's chess club, your application got penalized. The scary part is, no one programmed it to be sexist. It just learned to be sexist from the biased history we fed it. Amazon, of course, scrapped the whole thing, but it was a huge wake-up call for the industry.
And what happened at Amazon has a name. It's called algorithmic bias. It's this dangerous situation where an AI doesn't fix our human biases, but instead learns them from our data and then automates them at an incredible scale, reinforcing unfairness instead of fighting it.
So, if AI can be this biased, should we just give up on it? No, absolutely not. It just means the path forward isn't about choosing one or the other. It's about creating a powerful partnership between human judgment and AI insight. At the end of the day, this isn't about AI versus humans. The goal is not to replace human decision-making. The real magic happens when you use AI to augment our own judgment. It's a collaboration, plain and simple.
And for that collaboration to work, you need some serious guardrails. Organizations have to constantly audit their AI tools for bias. We need transparency so we can actually understand how the AI is arriving at its conclusions. Data privacy and anonymization have to be ironclad. And maybe most important of all, you must always keep a human in the loop.
A huge part of the solution is this growing field called explainable AI. The core idea is that an AI can't just be a mysterious black box that spits out answers. We have to be able to understand its reasoning. If an AI flags a potential issue, it needs to be able to show us its work so we can trust it and hold it accountable.
And that's really the ultimate promise here. When we let AI handle the heavy lifting of data analysis, the what, it frees us humans up to focus on the why and the how. It gives leaders the time and space to focus on strategy, on education, and on building the real human connections that are at the absolute heart of an inclusive workplace.
And that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. This technology is here, and it's already changing everything. When we combine its incredible analytical power with our own judgment and empathy, we have a real shot at building fairer, more innovative, and more successful workplaces for everyone. The only question left is your organization ready to embrace it?